his book, The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoevsky has a very interesting line. He says, "Never forget that you are in no position to judge others, because no one in this world has the right to judge a criminal unless they themselves understand that they are just as guilty as the person standing before them, and perhaps even more so. Only when you deeply comprehend this truth can you judge others." This might sound strange, but it's the truth. If I were a completely righteous person, perhaps there would be no criminal standing before me right now. So, if you can, take upon yourself the guilt of the person you are judging in your heart. Do it right now. Suffer in their place and let them go without blame. Dostoevsky's character makes a beautiful and profound point here. If you free your mind from judging others, you can build a better world. Now you might ask, how can not judging create a better world? The answer lies in the concept of correction. If we want to improve our world, we must know how to correct our mistakes. And the only way to correct our mistakes is through learning. Only a mind free of judgment can be in a constant state of learning. Learning has two stages: 1, prediction, and 2, correction. First, you make a prediction about how to achieve a specific goal. Then, if you make a mistake, you correct your prediction until you finally reach your goal. So, I'll say it again, learning has two stages. First you predict, then you correct it. I call this trial and error. A mind that does not judge naturally makes predictions and more easily corrects its mistakes. Simply put, a mind that doesn't judge others is a mind that is always learning. But how can you free your mind from judgment? By letting go of your attachment to certainty and absolute assurance. A mind that seeks to be 100% sure about everything quickly falls into illusion, because this 100% certainty is only possible in fantasy and delusion. A mind that thinks it knows everything says to itself, "I already understand everything. I don't need to learn or analyze anything anymore." This mind sees itself as complete and believes it has reached absolute truth. When a mind believes it has found the truth, it stops predicting and starts judging others. Because when you believe you know everything completely, you see no value in prediction. A judgmental mindset that thinks it understands everything completely is no longer willing to correct itself and, naturally, falls into illusion and delusion. And this very illusion causes suffering. So, how can you free yourself from this attachment to certainty? I'll tell you now, it's not hard. First, you need to adjust something within yourself. When you deeply understand that absolute certainty is simply impossible, this attachment naturally fades away. For example, how do you really know the sun will rise tomorrow? Because it's been repeating this routine for 1,000 years. So you've come to believe it? Yes, maybe, but it's not certain at all. You can't truly be sure until tomorrow comes and you see that the sun has indeed risen. We can only be sure about things that have already happened, but the future is always full of possibilities. There is no definitive reason that tomorrow must be exactly like today. No, thinking the future must be like the past can only be a form of faith. When you truly grasp this, you'll probably stop seeking certainty and absolutes because it's a kind of waste of time. When you set aside this desire for certainty, your mind is freed from judgment. And when you stop judging, you can always be learning. And when you're always learning, you can correct your mistakes much more easily. And when you can correct your mistakes, then you can build a better and more beautiful world for yourself and, in short, for others. Now, let's look at the difference between a mind trapped in judgment and a mind free from judgment. Alex is a manager and publisher. One day, a writer named Elias comes into his office. This Elias is a very strange person and doesn't look anything like what Alex imagines a successful writer to be. Because Alex's mind is judgmental, he immediately rejects Elias and doesn't even bother to check if his impression is correct. He thinks to himself, "I know exactly what good writers look like and how they behave, and this person doesn't fit into that category at all. He just doesn't look the part." Consequently, Elias goes to another manager and publisher named Sarah. When Sarah sees Elias, she thinks, "Well, this person really doesn't look like the successful writers I've seen so far, but that's just a guess. And I might be wrong. Let me take a look at his work and see what he's written." Sarah starts reading Elias's manuscript and quickly realizes she's holding a masterpiece. She realizes her initial guess was wrong and promptly corrects it. Sarah signs a contract with Elias, and his book becomes one of the classics of history, selling over 500 million copies. In these two examples, we can clearly see the difference between a judgmental mind and a predictive mind. A mind that is predictive always doubts its own knowledge. This very doubt leads it to test things. Testing allows it to discover its mistakes and then correct them. And these corrections ultimately lead to success and greatness. On the other hand, a mind that is always judging thinks it knows everything completely. This very certainty causes it to get stuck in illusion and delusion, and in the end, it suffers a great deal of pain and anguish. So, if you can realize that this absolute certainty is a lie, you will stop needing to know everything for sure, and you will become comfortable living in a reality where nothing is certain. When you let go of this desire for certainty, you free yourself from judgment. When you stop judging, you don't allow others to judge you either, and you neither judge yourself nor others. You enter a space full of learning. It is in this limitless space of learning that you can easily correct mistakes and, by correcting your mistakes, build a much better and more beautiful world. Well, we've now reached the end of my talk on Dostoevsky's teachings in the Brothers Karamazov. You are completely free to live however you like, but be mindful of your judgments so they don't act like an anchor, preventing you from making the progress you should. If you yourself have concluded that by judging others, you are missing out on opportunities for your own learning and growth, and you don't want to continue like this from now on, then write in the comments section, "I will not judge anymore. Don't do this for me." Do it for your own subconscious, because it helps you take a firm first step in this endeavor.